The year is 2026. The AI landscape isn't a distant future. It's the ground beneath our feet, shifting every single day. The gold rush mentality of 2024 is over. The era of throwing a generic wrapper around a large language model and calling it a business is dead. The winners of the next wave aren't the ones with the biggest models or the most funding. They're the ones who are the most focused, the most integrated, and the most obsessed with delivering real, tangible value. This isn't about building the next AGI, it's about building practical, profitable, and defensible AI-powered solutions. This is your starter pack. 7 moves to get ahead and stay ahead. Let's start with move number 1, redefine your role. The old playbooks are obsolete. If you're a creator, your audience is drowning in information. They don't need another tutorial explaining what a prompt is. They need you to use your expertise to build something for them. You need to ship tools, not just tutorials. Think about it. Instead of a video on how to write better marketing copy, build a simple AI tool that generates 5 high-converting headlines based on a product description. You're no longer just an educator, you're a toolsmith, empowering your audience to achieve results directly. If you're a founder, the venture capital world is tired of hearing about daily active users if those users aren't getting real value. You need to deliver automated value, not just chase vanity metrics. Your goal isn't to have 1 million signups. It's to have 1,000 customers who can't imagine their workflow without you. This means your AI must perform a critical task better, faster, or cheaper than any alternative. It has to be a core part of their value chain, not a novelty feature. Your pitch is no longer, "We have AI," it's, "We solve this expensive problem automatically, on my crown." And if you're a maker, a builder, a developer, your instinct is to build. But the temptation is to build everything. You need to build feedback loops, not feature lists. A long list of features is a sign of a product that doesn't know what it's for. A tight, rapid feedback loop with a small group of dedicated users is a sign of a product that's about to find product-market fit. Your job isn't to guess what users want, it's to build a system to learn from them as quickly as possible. This shift in mindset is the foundation for everything that follows. This brings us to move number 2, find the micro pain. Forget boiling the ocean. The most successful AI products in 2026 will solve excruciatingly specific, micro pain points. These are the tedious, repetitive, and annoying tasks that professionals endure every day. They're the death by 1,000 cuts problems. Think about a sales team. The macro problem is closing more deals. That's too big. The micro pain is the 30 minutes each salesperson wastes every day manually summarizing their call notes to update the CRM. It's a small, consistent, and universally hated task. How do you find these? Talk to people, but don't ask them, "What AI tool would you like?" Ask them, "What's the most boring part of your job? What task do you procrastinate on the most?" If you had a magic wand to eliminate one 15-minute task from your day, what would it be? Listen for the sighs. Listen for the frustration in their voice. That's where the gold is. It's not in the grand, world-changing ideas. It's in the small, workflow-breaking annoyances. A graphic designer's micro pain might be manually resizing and reformatting 50 images for different social media platforms. A lawyer's micro pain might be redacting sensitive information from a 200-page document. These are perfect targets. Once you have that micro pain, you can move to move number 3, build a tiny AI. The temptation is to use the largest, most powerful model available. Resist it. For a micro pain, you need a micro solution. A tiny AI is a model or a system of models that is hyper-focused on doing one thing exceptionally well. It's not a chatbot that can write poetry and code. It's a tool that reliably summarizes call notes. That's it. Focus beats features, every single time. Why tiny? 3 reasons. First, speed and cost. Smaller, specialized models are faster and dramatically cheaper to run. This makes your product more responsive and your business model more viable. Second, reliability. A general-purpose model might summarize your call notes correctly 85% of the time, but it might also hallucinate a detail or miss a key action item. A fine-tuned, smaller model trained specifically on call summarization can achieve 99% accuracy, which is what users need to trust it. Third, user experience. A tool with one button and one purpose is infinitely more usable than a complex interface with a dozen confusing options. Your tiny AI should feel less like a powerful brain and more like a perfectly designed appliance. It just works. Now, for the most critical and least glamorous step. Move number 4, master your data pipeline. This is the moat around your business. The model itself is a commodity. Your data is your unique, defensible asset. If you don't own your data pipeline, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. Without high-quality, proprietary data, your model is just a paperweight, an expensive, inert piece of code that can't generate real value. Mastering the pipeline means 3 things. First, it must be clean. Raw data is a mess. It's full of errors, inconsistencies, and noise. You need automated scripts and processes to standardize formats, remove duplicates, and correct errors. For our sales call summarizer, this means cleaning the audio transcripts, removing filler words, correcting speaker labels, and standardizing jargon. Garbage in, garbage out. Clean data is the price of admission. Second, it must be labeled. This is where you encode your expertise. An AI model doesn't inherently know what a good summary is. You have to teach it. This means creating a dataset of thousands of call transcripts paired with perfect, human-written summaries. This labeled data is what you use to fine-tune your model. It's tedious, but it's the single most important factor in creating a high-performing AI. This is your secret sauce. Third, it must be private and secure. Users are giving you their most sensitive information. A breach isn't just a technical problem, it's an extinction-level event for your company. This means encryption at rest and in transit, robust access controls, and a deep understanding of data privacy regulations. Demonstrating that you are a responsible steward of your users' data is a powerful competitive advantage. With your tiny AI and data pipeline in place, you enter the most important phase. Move number 5. Implement weekly user-driven iteration. The goal of your first version is not to be perfect, it's to be a tool for learning. You must get your product into the hands of actual users as fast as possible, even if it's just 5 of them. And you need to talk to them every single week. This loop is sacred. On Monday, you observe a user. Watch them use your tool. Where do they get stuck? What makes them smile? What makes them sigh? On Tuesday, you consolidate feedback from all your user sessions. On Wednesday, you decide on the single most important improvement to make. On Thursday, you build and deploy that one change. On Friday, you get it in front of users again. This weekly cadence of observe, consolidate, decide, and build creates relentless momentum. And remember, you're looking for metrics over opinions. A user might say they want a new button, but the data might show they're not even using the existing ones. Trust what they do, not what they say. Is your AI saving them time? Is it reducing errors? Is it being used every day? Those are the metrics that matter. As you iterate, you'll notice patterns. This leads to move number 6. Automate everything but genius. Your goal is to use AI and automation to handle the repetitive, predictable parts of your business, so that your team's precious human brainpower can be focused on high-value, creative work. This applies to both your product and your own internal processes. Within your product, this means automating the setup. Use templates. Instead of making a user figure out how to write the perfect prompt for your tool, give them a library of pre-built templates for common use cases. Automate the input. Use prompts. Design your UI to guide the user to provide the exact information the AI needs, structuring their input for them, and automate the improvement. Use fine-tunes. As you gather more clean, labeled data from your users, you can continuously fine-tune your model, making it smarter and more accurate every week without manual intervention. The AI should get better on its own. Internally, this means automating your own repetitive tasks. Automate customer support queries. Automate your data cleaning pipeline. Automate your deployment process. The purpose of all this automation is singular: to free up humans to do what they do best. Talk to customers, think strategically, and solve complex, novel problems. Your team should be focused on strategy and creativity, not routine maintenance. That's how you build a lean, powerful organization. You've found the pain, built the solution, and created a learning loop. Now it's time to get paid. Move number 7, the final move. Productize for profit. A great AI model is useless if no one can access it. You need to package your solution in a way that makes it incredibly easy for people to use it, and incredibly easy for them to pay you for it. There are 3 primary ways to do this. First, for developers and other tech companies, offer it as an API. This allows them to build your AI's capability directly into their own products. It's clean, scalable, and creates a powerful ecosystem effect. Second, for teams, bring the AI to where they already work. Build Slack bots or Microsoft Teams integrations. Instead of forcing them to open another app, let them summon your AI with a simple / command. This is all about reducing friction. And third, for the widest possible audience, create simple, embeddable widgets. A small piece of JavaScript that a user can paste onto their own website to get the power of your AI. Think of an AI-powered FAQ on a marketing site, or our call summarizer, embedded directly within a CRM interface. The key is to make access seamless and contextual. Each of these access points, APIs, bots, widgets, should lead to a clear, simple pricing page. Don't be afraid to charge for value. If your tiny AI saves a salesperson 5 hours a month, that's worth hundreds of dollars. Price based on the value you create, not the cost of your servers. This is how you turn a cool project into a sustainable business, so people will pay. So, there you have it. 7 moves to get ahead in 2026. Redefine your role, find the micropain, build a tiny AI, master your data, iterate weekly with users, automate everything but genius, and productize for profit. This isn't easy, but it's a clear, actionable path. It's a shift from chasing hype to building real, defensible value. But knowing the path and walking the path are two different things. Want a concrete 30-day roadmap to implement these 7 moves? I've created a detailed checklist that breaks down this entire strategy into a day-by-day plan for your first month. It covers how to conduct user interviews to find micropains, how to structure your first data labeling project, and which tools to use to get started fast. Click the link in the description. Grab the checklist. It's a step-by-step guide to take you from idea to your first paying user. Stop theorizing. Stop waiting for the next big model. The opportunity is right now and it belongs to the builders. Start shipping tomorrow.